Welcome to Checks and Balances. I'm Michael Vincent. This is James Blair, and this week, the habits of wealthy people.
Okay, so we spoke about in a previous episode the habits of poor people. Now we're going to talk to you about the habits of wealthy people. So instead of ranting about all the stuff you shouldn't do, we're going to rant about all the stuff you should do. So, Mike, some important context in terms of this episode before we kick off, that a wealthy mindset is not, and this is really important, is not linked to your income. It's about how you think and how you operate. You can be earning money, but still have a poor mindset. You can be a graduate in your first job or still in university or a single mum on the grind, but you have a wealthy mindset. So it's about the habits. It's not about how much money is in the bank. Mike, where are we starting?
Yeah, cool. So setting clear financial goals. And I think that you touched on a really important point there. I love it when I'm speaking to juniors, just got out of university, they're into the workforce, and they're coming to me like 6 months later and just had their first pay rise and like, how do I buy a house? Yeah. And I'm like, I love this. I love that you are setting clear financial goals. You're going to make yourself better. You can't do it, but I love that you're trying.
Yeah. I spoke to a lady who came along to the webinar I did with Luke a little while back. And she'd grown up in state housing. She'd never had a role model around money or finances. And she thought, you know what? I'm not going to be a victim of my circumstances. I'm going to get on with my situation. So she took advantage of all of the grants, all of the opportunities she had available in South Auckland. She's now earning over $100,000 a year. She's bought her first home. And she's thinking, her plan now, and what I'm helping her with, is retiring by 50. So if you're thinking that situation, the kind of environment she was around from an early age to where she is now, set big goals. Anybody can do it.
Yeah, and guys, make them smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. We all know this. Having a goal of, I want to be rich is not a goal. Everyone wants to be rich. I want this much money by this date to achieve this lifestyle is an actual goal.
Yeah, and there was a study done that if you just think about a goal, there's about a 30% chance of you doing it. But if you think about a goal, rate it in terms of difficulty, give weekly updates and have somebody you're accountable for, there's a 75% chance you achieve your goal. So the way you go about goal setting is really important. And the other bit is, smart goals are really important. But if you set this huge ambitious goal, as long as it doesn't trick your mindset and go, I can't achieve this thing. But if you set this really ambitious goal, which this is kind of the stuff that I think about for my own personal situation from a business aspect, and you get 80% of the way there, you're still crushing it.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, number 2, continuously learning and staying informed. So if you think, I've cracked the game, I know it all, putting the feet up, the game is done, that is a poor mindset. We need the world, bloody hell, we're all going to be slaves to ChatGPT before the end of the year. So, you need to stay informed. And sorry, I don't mean to go on a rant. How did everybody become like an expert on ChatGPT and sell a course overnight?
Welcome to Checks and Balances. I'm ChatGPT, and this is ChatGPT, and this week we're talking about whatever you plug into me.
Ooh. But you need to continuously be evolving, leveling up your skill sets. So a really good example of the world is always changing around us. Say you're a property investor and you think you've clocked the game. Suddenly the government rolls out a bunch of different changes. You need to be thinking about how you adjust your strategy with what is going on, what new technologies are available, how are you going to level up your career. You need to be thinking always about how can I get better constantly.
Yeah, and this is something you can do for free. Obviously, you're listening to the podcast, so you want some financial tips. You want to know how to better yourself for your financial future. We're not saying you have to go and do a postgraduate degree. The information is everywhere. Information has never been more accessible. It's just about picking the right information to make sure you're not getting led down the garden path.
That's the kicker, eh? Picking the right information.
Yeah. So habit number 3, living below your means. And I can't tell you how often we see people earning a shed ton of money who are still living above their means.
Yep. If you just money comes in, money comes out, you, my friend, are on the treadmill of life, sweating up a storm and never going anywhere. It is all about delayed gratification. Look, You could have this really nice thing now, but if you can delay the gratification of this nice thing, maybe have a smaller version of it for now, save some money, learn to invest, and let time do its thing, that thing you want right now, you can have it for the rest of your life if you do the right habits early and give it enough time.
Yep, 100%.
Investing strategically.
Yeah, so there are a lot of different ways to invest. But really, what you're trying to do when you're investing is to grow your asset or your wealth or your cash or your money or your stocks or whatever it is over the long term. The power of compounding interest is the biggest financial force in the financial universe. I don't care that I stuffed it up because honestly, I believe it 100%.
Yeah.
We are always talking to people who are like, oh, look, but what if I buy it now and the house is 800,000, it's only going to be worth 850,000. It doesn't matter. 10 years time, that house will have doubled and you have doubled your wealth.
Yeah. The other bit with this as well is keep it simple.
Yeah.
Don't overcomplicate your strategy. Some people think they need to be doing something new every year to kind of mentally feel like they're going ahead. Look, you don't need to buy gold. Before you contact me, don't go and buy gold. Pay down debt, leverage buy investment property. Once the debt's gone, contribute to managed funds, set meaningful goals. Keep it that simple. You do not need to be investing in your Sharesies portfolio when you're leveraged up with a personal loan and talking to me about your Korean EV startup tech company. Think smart about this stuff.
Yeah, the gold thing is actually really interesting because everyone's like, oh, I'm going to buy some gold. And there's a couple of different reasons why people do it. But the one I love is that when no, Mike, you don't understand. When the world falls apart and your fiat currency isn't worth anything, we're going to revert to gold. And I'm like, mate, if the world's falling apart and we're reverting to gold, I'm not going to care about your shiny coin. I'm just going to take what you have.
So you can start robbing people.
Well, honestly, you'd be bartering before you were like, no, give me the shiny gold coin. If I want water, I'm going to go for the water.
Yep, definitely. Habit number 5, networking and building relationships. So if you think you can achieve all your goals by yourself, that's just not the case. You need to be thinking about who can I, and this probably comes back to the education and constantly learning thing. What circle do I want to surround myself with? Who can, not I only just, who can help me, but also who can I help and how can we grow together as a unit?
Yeah.
Any other tips there, Mike?
Nope.
Cool. Maybe one more tip since Mike forgot about it is also think about who are the people who are where you want to be now. So thinking about, is there somebody who I would like to ask to be my mentor, building those strong relationships?
Cool. And this is one where we're gonna say the tip, we're gonna give you some advice around it, but we don't really follow it.
Yeah.
Maintaining a healthy work-life balance. James, would you say that our work-life balance is healthy?
I mean, we're here on a Saturday morning. I actually just on a personal.
I love it though.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. Yeah.
No, on a personal note, I do really struggle with this. As you will all be aware, I have an adorable 5-month-old son, and I do feel guilty for the amount that I work and going, oh, maybe I should be working less. Maybe I should be spending more time with him. Part of it's, which is probably the wrong thing. There's a little bit of delayed gratification there as well, maybe.
Yeah.
But you need to be thinking about work-life balance is really about, you might be grinding super hard, but your situation might be okay with that. But it's really about how you're dealing with that balance. And if you're going really hard and you're going to burn yourself out for argument's sake, then that's not gonna work because it's not sustainable.
Yeah. And it's things like a bit of self-care, having hobbies, making sure that it's not negatively impacting the relationships in your life, your personal relationship, your partner, your friends, your family, because it is really easy to just get way out of whack. And all of a sudden you're texting someone I haven't seen you for 6 months. Oh crap, I've just been working.
Yeah. And if you're rich, divorced, and your kids hate you, that's not a good work-life balance.
Yeah, cool. Another big one we're going to talk about is consistency. So when you have set your goals, you've got everything else leveraged out. You've got your budget in place. You've got your investment portfolio sorted. You've got your emergency fund. You've got your investment property. It is staying consistent. It is not changing what you're doing with the whim of the market or the next financial fad.
Yep. Alex Hormonzi says, everybody cheers you on at the start, everybody cheers you on at the end. It's the middle where the victory happens. And the middle is all about consistency. The times where nobody's watching, when you're in it by yourself, you're consistently doing the right thing over and over again to achieve the end goal. Because, whether it's nutrition, whether it's diet, whether it's finances, whether it's any other aspect of your life, these things do not happen overnight. You need to be in there for the journey.
Yeah, and you can see this with really wealthy people, right? And a really good example is Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway, has an investment strategy that has not really changed over the entire course of his career. He picks good companies, buys low, sells high. That's it. He's not worried about whether it's, the next FTX crypto this or, a new gold fund over here. It is simple. Just maintain, be consistent. It'll work over the long term.
But Mike, the US economy is being brought down to their knees.
Yeah.
Okay, tip number 10, using money wisely and avoiding consumer debt. Mikey V, where should we start?
Yeah, look, so again, we say it a lot, like money is not complicated. It's a very easy thing to manage when you get it right. But that consumer debt, those high interest rate loans, the personal loans, the credit cards, the car loans, honestly, if one more person comes at me this week with a car loan, I'm giving up.
Don't buy it. If you can't buy the car, don't get the car. Oh, well, I thought an EV would be a good investment because I would save on petrol costs. Absolute bollocks. Buy what you can afford.
Yeah.
The other bit is around, with this habit, is paying yourself first. So opposed to money comes in, it all goes out. Oh, geez, Mike, there's no money left. I'm going to go now spend some money on my credit card. This comes all back to budgeting. Money comes in, it automatically gets split out, and you are thinking, for my goal each fortnight, for my goal long term each fortnight, this is how much money I need to save to achieve that goal.
Yeah. So the next one, understanding and managing that debt. So this kind of ties into those high interest loans that we're talking about. Debt is not necessarily a bad thing. Using debt, using the power of leverage to grow the asset that you're investing in, to grow your returns over the long run, beautiful, love it. Not, having 3 credit cards where you're making just the interest repayment on all of them, I don't love it. It's not good debt. That is what you should be managing. That is one that you really need to understand what you're getting into and how you're going to get out of it.
Yep, definitely. And even on the other side, in terms of the good debts, I've had people go to me, well, my parents, and I mean, if you can choose based on the average, this is much better than the average. My parents always told me to stay away from debts. Debts are bad. I save money. Now, that could be a limiting mindset for you. You also need to be thinking about, well, if I buy an investment property and I've stress tested 8% interest rates and it puts me in a better financial position based off capital gains, why wouldn't you do it? The debt is not the scary thing. It's how you use the debt. What do the cash flows look like behind it? And then what the long-term plan is.
Yeah, and I would say New Zealanders are really guilty of just looking at mortgages with a really negative mindset and be like, I've got to pay it off. I've got to pay it off. I'm a slave to this thing. Yeah, you know what? Not all debt is bad. You can use it to grow your wealth.
Cool. Last habit, being disciplined and avoiding status symbols. So the whole Instagram life, keeping up with the Joneses, the reality is a lot of people in those circles are living beyond their means. And we talk about you are the circle you hang around. I mean, you're going to end up exactly like them, spending money on things that you don't care about to impress people who you actually don't care about either.
Yeah, and again, it comes back to like, if I don't want to bring everything back to the debt piece, but honestly, like the car loan, because I had to have the new BMW. Like, honestly, I'm like, what are you doing? You could have paid that off your mortgage and you would be saving so much cash.
Yep. And you need to be thinking about not just like the moment and what other people are doing, but the motivation comes and goes. Discipline is set by long-term goals, and that will keep you on the right track. So not what are other people doing right now, but what is important for me long-term, and what kind of role model do I want to be for the people around me? So don't talk about it, be about it. Your kids, if you've got kids, they will look up to you, and the habits that you show around money, they will adopt and they will follow.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, we will wrap it up there. So wealthy habits, once again, it's not about how much money you earn. It's about how you're thinking about your situation and how you're getting ahead. Really And if you've got a partner, this would be a really good idea as well to sit down and do it with your spouse as well. Sit down and think about your own habits and be really honest with yourself, because that self-reflection piece, I mean, if we're adding a bonus habit in, self-reflection, if we're thinking about where we are now and where we want to be, and am I the person I need to be now to achieve the kind of life I want to build? Thank you very much for joining us. Please make sure to subscribe, give us a review, and we will catch you next time.
Cheers.